We got ourselves a nice hot take right here, man. A nice hot take that became controversial for a while, man. Ever since Michael Jai White made that claim about him beating Bruce Lee, man, there's been an uproar around his little atmosphere, bro. But this right here, I got a glimpse of some of the video. I ain't watched the whole thing, but I figured this would be a good reaction video too. You know, I'm gonna give my opinion as well as Rock Solid actually talk about this whole Michael Jai White being a professional fighter. You know, all his claims, you know, his accolades and all this, and dissing other fighters. So I'm gonna give my opinion as we go through, man. You know, keep it going, but I think this is a nice little video for everybody to check out. So follow Rock Solid's page. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and follow that page right now because, yeah, this is actually a legit little video. I ain't get a chance to finish it, so I'm starting over. So I was already like 5 minutes in. I was like, yeah, this is something. This is a nice topic, man. So no further ado, Michael Jai White can't beat Bruce Lee and is not a better fighter than Kimbo Slice. Truth exposed. No further ado, let's hear him out.
What's poppin'? It's your boy Rock Solid, the beast of rap with the best hands in the rap game. You want to know what I find very fucking interesting? I find it very interesting that people are coming on my videos where I'm talking about Michael Jai White, and they are defending Michael Jai White and questioning me. Where's your sparring footage? Where's your training footage? When is your fight? How come you're not fighting? If you don't have anything, you're in the same boat as Michael Jai White. Really? Let me show y'all some of these comments before I go in. Here they are. When do you fight, bro? Seems like all you do is talk. Haven't seen you fight, bro. When do you fight? All you do is run your mouth. Brethren, no offense, nor am I taking any sides. However, have anyone seen videos of you doing the things you said you could do? I scanned through your channel and did not see one footage of you fighting or sparring. So how are we to believe you? I used to fight in MMA in the late 80s and early 90s before it became popular. I quit and went into film because MMA at the time wasn't paying shit. I still have few tapes of me giving some people that work. So do you have clips of you doing the things you said you could do? If no, then you're in the same boat as Michael Jai White. If you do, then why not post them? Just my humble opinion.
Motherfuckers mad, ain't they? Motherfuckers mad, bro. As a matter of fact, let me see something real quick, y'all. How old is Michael Jai White?
Michael Jai White, who was born in Brooklyn, New York, is 58 years old. He is an actor, director, and martial artist, known for starring in movies like Spawn and Tyson.
That's all Google got to give us. Just saying. I hope y'all heard that. First and foremost, his age. Dude about to be 60 soon. That's an old man. No offense. But he an OG, you feel me? So, and we got to think that was a different time period too, man. I think the only footage we got of Michael Jai White was him sparring. That one spar match that you can easily look up on YouTube. Other than that, you got a couple of demos of him, you know, showing off his katas. We see those too. Far as footage fighting somebody, like I said, we only get is that sparring footage. That old school sparring footage that looked like that was on tape. So even with that footage, bro, I don't know, man. I mean, the man got skills. We can't deny that. He for real got the skill. He's a legit martial artist. He's a legit martial artist. You can't take that from Michael Jai White. But being a fighter, I mean, I feel like anybody can question that, especially after he made that statement about Bruce Lee not being a real fighter. So, but let's keep this video going, man. But like I said, man, that was back in the day, bro. I mean, I understand what this guy's saying, but at the same time, I just want Rock Solid to, you know, go ahead and I guess expose whatever he's about to expose. But I mean, anybody can make a claim to be a fighter and not have footage, right? So, but other fighters also have the right to, you know, call you out on it. But just for Michael Jai White, all I can say is we only have one footage of him sparring. The question is that one footage good enough? Y'all tell me, go look it up.
Oh, there's a lot more where that comes from people saying you're just a bodybuilder, you're just a rapper. You might beat Michael Jai White in a weightlifting contest, or you might beat him in a rap battle. That's about it. You'll get destroyed in 10 seconds, and here's my thing though. Check this out. So these guys are on here defending Michael Jai White because I made a video where I'm talking about him disrespecting Kimbo Slice, saying that he would beat Kimbo in a fight, and talking about his limited skill set and whatever. And I'm saying, hey, Kimbo was a real fighter.
Yeah.
Bro, we seen him in the backyard.
Yeah.
We seen him in MMA.
Yeah.
And we seen him in boxing.
Yeah. Yeah. And on top of that, Kimbo was getting squabbles for free in the streets, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can type Kimbo now, bro. You gonna find his shit. Shit, I mean, I was just graduated high school when I first found out about Kimbo, bro. And we all was tripping. The first video I seen with Kimbo, he was fighting some muscular bald head dude in the backyard, bro. And the only thing we remember was how that dude's eye looked. That made me a fan right there. About the same time, I was like, God, I didn't even know a motherfucker could hit that hard at the time. But it's bare knuckles. You feel me? So, but nah, man, Kimbo got footage for days, bro. He got squabbles for days, man. I'm pretty sure a lot of those squabbles was for free. But let's keep it going.
We've never even seen you spar anybody, ever. And so people are getting mad at me and defending Michael Jai White by saying, where's your footage? Where's it? I'm a fucking rapper. I'm a rapper, bro. I promote myself. I'm not the one on here that promotes myself as the best fighter living, who's beating up UFC fighters and sparring and whooping John Jones and saying that Bruce Lee's not a real fighter, Jean-Claude Van Damme's not a real fighter, Jet Li's not a real fighter, when he's not even a pro fighter himself. He does the same exact shit that Bruce Lee did, that Jean-Claude Van Damme does, that Steven Seagal does, that Jet Li does.
Yeah.
Yet, he tries to discredit these people as real fighters, and that he's a real fighter. And I'm just saying, bro, what makes you different from them then? That's my own problem. And I'm saying, where's your footage at? So, y'all's whole thing is to attack me, and I gotta prove that I know how to fight. I gotta prove that I can fight. I gotta show my footage. I gotta show my this. But you've never questioned Michael Jai White's footage?
Hey, that's a good. Hey, that's. I'm just saying that's a good question. That is a good question. And I know a lot of y'all on here question that. Like, yeah, Michael Jai White been on 10 ever since he linked up with Vlad. Can we be real? He been on 10 ever since he linked up with Vlad, and he been on Vlad for a couple of years now, doing this, making these statements, making these claims. Nothing against him. Nothing against him. I love my boy Spawn. No matter how much he hated his own movie, we love Spawn. But, yeah, man, it's like, well, on paper, can you fight? On paper, yes, you're a legit martial artist master. You're a martial arts master. You're known for training guys. We know that. But, yeah, he do make a lot of claims of, being a legit fighter while discrediting other fighters, which is crazy work. Especially fighters that's actors, that's in Hollywood, that's in the movie industry or whatnot. So, and to be honest, he the only one to do it. Like, nobody else does that at all. Like, you got my boy, I got my top 5, and yeah, Michael is in my top 5. You got Michael Jai White, you got Scott Adkins. I love me some Scott Adkins, bro. Scott Adkins is dope. You got Tony Jaa. That's a motherfucker, bro. Are we going to discredit him? I know he got footage up. Jet Li could box, but he old. And you got Bruce Lee. Then you got the rest of them, Donnie Yen, Jackie Chan. You know what I'm saying? So are we going to discredit them too? I'm just saying. Wesley Snipes? Are we going to discredit Wesley Snipes? He doesn't have not one footage, no sparring. He don't have a sparring or a fighting footage. But we know him to be a martial artist. And in our hearts, we know that nigga get banged. I don't know, man. But nah, that's a good question. You discrediting everybody else? What about you?
When he's the one
Fair question.
that y'all brag about being a 9th degree black belt in 7 different martial arts, who y'all brag about, who y'all be going around on this internet saying that he would destroy Kimbo Slice, saying he whooped John Jones' ass. Yeah, y'all go all over the internet saying that he be that this is like Michael Jai White is the greatest martial artist to ever live, the greatest fighter alive, and you have never seen him even fucking spar. I have the right. Anybody has the right to question. Let's see you fight.
Like I said, he only got that one sparring footage. You can find it. But is that footage enough to make that? Is that footage enough to be like, okay, he can fight? Now I'm gonna be honest with you. That was a martial arts tournament. That was just for what it looks like, a basic regular martial arts tournament. I've been in those. I know how that is. You know what I'm saying? So, that's a martial art, like a martial arts tournament versus the octagon. That's 2 different atmospheres, bro. It's probably less rules in MMA. It's way more rules in this world of martial artists right here. It's too many rules. I've seen them. Now, I get what he's saying. Let's take you out of there and let's put you over here with them. Can't you run with the big dogs? But at the same time, bro, Michael Jai White hitting 60. He ain't jumping in that ring at 60. So I look at it like this. It's the age thing, man. I mean, he OG, so he gonna make them claims before he go. He gonna make all them claims before he go. So because he up in age. He just running his mouth at this point, man. So it's entertainment at this point, bro. But let's keep it going, bro.
Let's see look, if you don't want to do a professional fight, okay, well, let's just see you really sparring behind the scenes. Like you be saying, you be sparring professional boxers, and you say that nobody, you literally said that Bruce Lee was too small, like he couldn't hurt you. You talk about nobody under 200 pounds can hurt you. You're saying all this shit about who you fight. You're trying to legitimize yourself as a real fighter by bragging about who you train with in the UFC. So we have the right to say, well, let's see some footage. That's all. Especially if you're going to shit on real fighters like Kimbo Slice. If you're going to shit on real fighters, bro, that actually compete, while promoting yourself as the greatest martial artist to ever live, and shitting on Bruce Lee, who's really the greatest martial artist of all time. When they're deceased, you're shitting on Kimbo, who's deceased, and y'all want to get mad at me for saying, well, let's see you fight. Right? Let's see you fight. Let's see something from you. No, it's, y'all want to see something from a rapper. Well, y'all literally come out here and say, I'm just a bodybuilder, I'm just a rapper. But to defend Michael Jai White, you need fight footage from me. And here's the funny part. I got fight footage on my fucking channel. Yeah, you say you've been boxing for 30 years and training MMA for 10 years. Where's your footage? What? Oh, this is right on my channel. Yeah, somebody today said he got some clips on here. Oh, I didn't see that. Thanks.
Yeah, you gotta be careful for the bots. You know what I'm saying? They go on here, don't do their proper research on shit, bro. I try to be careful on shit I talk about without actually doing the proper research. I mean, like I said, I can give my opinion, but at the end of the day, I tell you. It's just an opinion. You know what I'm saying? I will definitely not make a claim about somebody that's standing third without even actually knowing what the hell they're capable of or what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Now, we know for a fact Michael Jai White don't have no footage. He only have one spar. I swear he only has one. You can tell me all these goddamn years y'all have not been trying to look up and find at least a couple of Michael Jai White, bruh. I've been researching martial artists for a long time, and trust me, it's only maybe that's that one. I promise you, in a couple of demos, and a bunch of other behind the scenes footage of him getting ready for a movie when he's doing the splits, showing his katas. That's about it. And his movies. That's all we got for Michael Jai White. Let's be real. We ain't had not one legitimate footage of Michael Jai White fighting nobody. He talks about him training fighters, which is cool. There's a lot of martial artists out here who probably never ever got in the ring not one time, but they so good at what they do, they at least capable of training people. There's people out there. We got to put that out there, man. There's martial artists out there who never got in the ring not one time. Got probably hella trophies for competitions, but was able to go and train people, if not in fighting and choreography. I promise you. We can talk about it. They out there, man. Don't pretend they not. And I believe Michael Jai White is one of those type of martial artists. He's a martial artist who put himself in position to be around these type of guys, these type of goons, these type of top-notch fighters. And because of his, accolades, they respect that. Of course, it makes sense to go, okay, let me talk to this martial artist. That's like with Bruce Lee. If Bruce Lee was alive today, no matter how good you are in the ring, dude, you will want to get some advice from Bruce. In the back of your mind, you're like, I got to talk to Master Bruce. I swear to God. But you got martial artists, bro, who never touched the ring. Not even in an actual martial arts tournament where he doing combat sparring or whatever you want to call it. Physical contact fighting. But they got protective gears on and all that. There's a lot of rules that goes on in that space versus the octagon. You feel me? There's only a few rules in the octagon. You damn near could get killed in the octagon. Well, I'm not saying martial arts tournaments is less dangerous. You can still get hurt, but you're more protected from rules and protective gear. The MMA is a different freaking beast. But yeah, man, me personally, I believe Michael Jai White, he probably can squabble. And he got a point though. Fans do got the right to question, like, hey, can we see you squabble at least one time before you go? But like I said, he's 60. Dude's old. I think he was born in the 60s, 64, something like that. Kimbo was born in the 70s. Tyson's 60 years old. But we know Tyson can squabble. A boxer. A professional boxer. At least he was able to go in the ring, and do an expedition with one of them Logan brothers. But hey, I don't know, man. But nah, fans do have the right to ask that question. Damn, can we see it? Because he only get that one. But like I said, is that one footage enough?
I got more as a rapper and bodybuilder. I got more footage of me sparring than Michael Jai White has shown in the last 30 fucking years while he's been running his fucking mouth, disrespecting legends like Bruce Lee, legends like Jet Li, legends like Jean-Claude Van Damme, legends like Tupac. That's all I'm saying. I got nothing against Michael Jai White. Y'all acting like I gotta go fight Michael Jai White. I gotta go fight him. Challenge him. Go challenge him. Go inbox him. Set up a fight with Michael Jai White. It's always the goofy, weak motherfuckers with no footage of themselves and no content on their channel trying to play matchmaker. Shut the fuck up. You don't run shit over here. You don't run me. You ain't got no fucking authority. You don't tell me what the fuck to do. It's not that deep to me. But I'm right here saying it right now. Michael Jai White, if you see this footage and it bothers you in some kind of way and you want to fight me on Netflix, DAZN, PBC, Top Rank, Combat Karate.
Somebody gonna send this footage to Vlad. Vlad is snitch. Somebody gonna send this footage to Vlad TV. Hey, there's some guy. I can see it now, bro. I can see it now. Somebody gonna send this footage to Vlad, like, hey, Vlad, bro, some dude named Rockstar on here, saying, hey, we can squabble anytime you want to, bro. Hey, that'd be good for content, though, to be honest with you, man. Hey, look.
Holla at me! And I'm a rapper. I'm not the one on video like Michael John White saying, nobody challenges me. People know better to challenge me. I will never turn down a fight. I'll fight anybody. And then the first time a fucking fighter, Mike Perry, calls you out, calls you a bitch ass nigga, and says, let's fight, you don't take it. You ain't got the fucking heart to take it. And that disappointed me because I came on here and went to bat for Michael John White. I got footage on here saying from 5 years ago where I'm defending Michael John White, and I called out Mike Perry. So here's the thing: if you're the real fighter with the nine degree black belts in 7 different arts, why the fuck am I calling out somebody for a fight that he dubbed? Michael John White dubbed Mike Perry, and I called out Mike Perry for a fucking fight.
That's a good point.
So, is it safe to say I got more fucking heart than Michael John fucking White?
I don't know Rock Solid's age. I'm just saying, Michael up there, bro, in age. And his most recent movies that I've seen, bro, like you can tell he's kind of losing motion. He's losing motion, and I ain't talking about as far as an actor. I'm just talking about as far as, physically. He still got the image and shit. I still would love to see the nigga play Spawn, to be honest with y'all. If I had to pick, I would still love to see Michael J. White still play Spawn. If they ever decide to greenlight this shit and let it go. And do it correctly. I would love for him to come back and make 3 more Spawn movies before he did. By Al Simmons, I'm pretty sure they want to go with somebody a little bit younger. They say Jamie Foxx, but still, I feel like there's other actors that can play Spawn outside of Jamie. I'm not saying Jamie can't do it, but physically he looked good, bro. No homo. Just saying. Physically, Michael J. White's still solid. But the most recent movies I've seen him, man, you can kind of tell that he's tired. You know what I'm saying? He ain't really got it like he did back in his prime. So I think he kind of reached his limit, and he know that. You know what I'm saying? And he's just using all his statements as a clutch to kind of, stay relevant. That's just my opinion.
Why y'all on here running your motherfucking mouths? You want to see what it says on my Facebook page? My name is Rock Solid. I'm an independent rap artist and natural bodybuilding champion. Boxing for 30 years, training MMA for 10 years. Over 1 million streams on my rap album, The Beast of Rap. I write, produce, direct, film, and edit all my own music videos. Do you see what it says on my YouTube bio? This is the channel of Rock Solid, the first rapper to go viral on World Star. It was featured in an article on Vlad TV. I react to professional MMA and boxing matches and discuss worldwide trending topics. I share my rap, bodybuilding, boxing, and comedy videos and give predictions on upcoming fights. I'm an independent rapper, natural bodybuilding champion, and here to entertain, motivate, and inspire the world through my own talents and vision. So explain to me why y'all demand fight footage, and sparring and training videos to prove that I know how to fight when I'm a rapper and a bodybuilder and promote myself as such. And y'all don't demand this from someone y'all are getting on the internet and calling the greatest martial artist alive, who gets on this internet and does interviews that reaches millions of people saying this.
Steven Seagal is not a fighter. Van Damme's not a fighter, man. Bruce Lee was not a fighter.
I'm not on Vlad TV talking about why Kimbo Slice lacked the technical martial arts skills to face him. I'm not the one sitting beside my wife talking about why Kimbo Slice didn't do well in the UFC.
We got to say it though, man. It's one of the hottest couples on the planet, bro. Michael John, his wife, bro. Hey, a power couple right here, bruh. We gotta get them flowers for that, man. He been with this woman for a long time, and she trains too. She trains and she acts. And she been in a couple of movies too, bruh. One of my favorite movies, How to Be a Player, Def Jam. She was in there.
And has videos on YouTube talking about his friendship with Kimbo and how they was good friends, but yet you are answering questions with Vlad TV on how you would beat him. You would think you would decline the question and say, man, what a career he had, man. Came off the streets, got into MMA, boxing, did well for himself, made a name for his legacy. You know, even if that wasn't your friend, somebody you even just worked with, bro, you would think you would have more respect to just not even talk about how you would beat him or how they didn't have skills or why they failed in the UFC and shit like that.
Yeah, you would think. You would think that. But it happens. You go out and find motherfuckers that, you know, figure you be cool with, train with, you know what I'm saying, spar with, or whatnot, and this, and that, and third, and they gonna have an opinion about you. It's ego. It's called ego at the end of the day. Now the question is, will he get in a ring with Kimbo? Like I said, Kimbo got footages for days. Free squabbles. Tax-free ass whoopings. You feel me? But hey, would he get in the ring with him if he was alive today? Because you know Kimbo ain't ducking shit.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Michael Jai White's fans that say Michael Jai White's a martial artist with 26 martial arts championships. Don't get me wrong, Kimbo is a good street fighter, but that don't transition to professional fighting.
Huh? Wait a minute, what? He's a martial artist with 26 martial arts championships. And don't get me wrong, Kimbo is a good street fighter, but that doesn't transition professionally to fighting. That doesn't transition to a professional fighter. Dude, the MMA pays him to fight. What the fuck is Remy talking about?
Kimbo is a good street fighter, but that don't transition to professional fighting.
He get paid to fight, motherfuckers. He get paid to fight. And he's a real fighter. A real fighter who transitioned to the MMA to fight motherfuckers and get paid for it. What do you call that? He has a skill. He transitioned to the professional world and get paid to do it. People are goofy these days, man. People are goofy.
Michael Jai White actually trained and won competitions. People forget that. Kimbo Slice tried to do MMA and ended up losing. Michael Jai White isn't just a movie actor. He has real receipts from training at a young age. My money for sure will be on him to win.
I mean, you got the right to make your bets. I mean, it probably would have been a good fight, bro. But it ain't happened. It ain't happening. And I don't think it would ever happen anyway if Kimbo was still alive. Let's put it in perspective then. Let's just say, you know, after Blood and Bone and Senator, after they made the movie Blood and Bone, good ass fucking martial arts movie, go watch it. Why he don't have a sequel? I don't know. All these damn movies he make, why he ain't coming out with sequels? I don't know. But watch Blood and Bone. I'm just saying, let's just put it in perspective. Y'all made Blood and Bone, y'all link up, blah, 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 and y'all just decided to spar. You will have the upper hand because you're more skilled in certain areas when it comes to fighting. Kimbo's not. Kimbo can grapple, and he has these hands. Now let's put y'all in the perspective of a octagon where y'all actually competing. Do y'all really think Michael will win? Even without no footage, y'all think Mike will win? Michael Jai White with no fighting footage at all in the ring with Kimbo in a prime. You really think Mike will win? I don't know. I don't know. To play it safe, a lot of people will put their money on Michael. if you're playing it safe. You will put your money on Michael playing it safe because on paper, 36 black belts or whatever, 26, 36, whatever the number is. All these accolades in martial arts, he has it. So on paper, yeah, you would play a safer bet on Michael. But would he win against Kimbo? I don't know, bruh. I don't know. Too bad we would never see that. But I'm telling you, Kimbo ain't ducking no fade, no matter who it is or who he cool with. I know for a fact, y'all know for a fact, Kimbo ain't ducking no fade. Somebody call him out, he with the shits.
So, these guys who are Michael Jai White fans saying that he would destroy Kimbo are shitting on Kimbo's legacy and career while uplifting Michael Jai White as the real professional fighter. Michael Jai White is not a professional fighter. He never fought professionally. Kimbo Slice did. Y'all understand that the titles and championships that Michael Jai White won was point fighting. It wasn't a real fight.
Point, sparring, point fighting, physical point. Yeah, that. Y'all need to go to those tournaments. Y'all see what I'm talking about. You don't even have to go, man. Just look it up. It's too many rules revolving around that freaking world of martial arts fighting. It's too many rules, man. It's not the Kubate, bruh. You feel me? If I said that shit right. Yeah, the Kubate. These martial artists ain't out there fighting for blood. The MMA fighters are. The UFC is. Even to this day, it's still sad that the UFC don't make as much money as boxing. Boxers, that's a whole skill itself. But you got to be a beast to want to go in that damn octagon, bruh. Why you think Mayweather ain't never got in there? He ain't going to never get in there. Not taking away from Mayweather. That boy got some hands. But you ain't going to see him going there, bruh. The only person out of boxing that was brave enough to go into the octagon was Carissa Shields. She the only one that was able to do it. She was the only one that went in there one time, I think? 2 times maybe? Can't remember. But she was the only one, as far as our knowledge, in the boxing world, she was the only one that was brave enough to go, I'm going to try this MMA shit. And won. But the closest you're going to get to a street fight is in MMA. Kimbo could have went to go do boxing. But he chose to go in with the monsters. Come on, bro. Come on, man. You can't make that up.
It wasn't rounds of fighting where people was taking real damage. Here's the thing. These people are acting like Kimbo Slice failed. Bro, why he did the Vlad TV interview, why he failed in the UFC and didn't make... Bro, he was 1-1. Do y'all realize this? His record in UFC was 1-1.
The fact that he ever made it to UFC is a success, bro. That's not a failure. Think about the people that never got a chance in there to put themselves out there as a UFC competitor. There's a lot of people that don't even get that chance. That's a success, man. Y'all putting too much levels and layers onto this successful shit, bro. He made it. Kimbo made it, bro. And to this day, the guy's dead. His name is still being talked about. Just like Bruce Lee's name is still being talked about. Y'all better put some respect on these people's name, bro. For real, man. I don't know why people out here trying to kill people's legacy these days. It's weird.
He beat Houston Alexander, who was a legit UFC fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And then he lost and got knocked out by Matt Matrione.
Yeah.
And Matt Matrione knocked out Fedor. Think about this. The first MMA fight he had on the UFC off the streets was Roy fucking Nelson, who won the whole show, who everybody knows Roy Nelson can fight. Roy Nelson is legit, bro. So, because he lost to Roy Nelson and Matt Matrione, not only Matt Matrione knocked out Fedor, who a lot of people consider the greatest heavyweight MMA fighter of all time. But he failed at MMA when his record was 5-2. How did he fail at professional fighting? 5-2 in MMA off the streets. And he got into the UFC and MMA at an old age.
That's a success. A lot of people can't do that. A lot of people ain't brave enough to do that. That's not a failure, bro. He ain't failed. He ain't no failed fighter, let alone a UFC fighter. Damn, man, he one of the pioneers that opened up the doors for a lot of y'all niggas out here that love to fight in the streets anyway. Take advantage of that shit, bro. Y'all not looking at y'all looking at the negative with this shit, not the light. How can you be a failure when you open up the door to show like, dude, you good at this? Why not go take it professional? A lot of y'all don't ever have no fucking record and never will. No matter how many fights you had in the streets. You ain't known to be no pro at it. He's just another nigga in the street. Squabbling for free. Turn it into something, right?
With hardly no training. And then went to professional boxing and went 7-0 with 6 knockouts. Include that with his legendary backyard fights. And y'all consider it. Why do y'all think Kimbo Slice is a fucking street legend? Why do y'all think he's a legend in the world of fighting, just period?
There's got to be some young cats talking. I mean, I don't know. He shows some old cats on here talking smack about Kimbo too. So that's crazy work for them to even make those claims. Knowing the truth. When the facts is there. I don't know, man. People weird, bro.
Dana White cut him after one fucking loss. It's amazing to me. Bro, where's... Okay. He was not supposed to get one victory in the UFC. Not one. He was not supposed to get one victory in MMA. From the way y'all talk about professional fighters, MMA fighters are unbeatable. Nobody off the streets to come in. And he retired with a 5-2 MMA record and got a win in every fucking MMA organization he signed up in. What, 3 or 4 different organizations? Bellator, UFC, what was the other one? Elite XC, what was it? If he was alive today,
hey, Elite was kind of raw, man. I used to watch Elite a lot.
He would end up being a champion there and getting a victory there too. And y'all are not putting respect on Kimbo's name, but you're putting all the respect on Michael Jai White's name, who has never fought professionally, who does not have a professional MMA record, not a professional boxing record.
Hey, man, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm gonna say this. I mean, Elite, MMA, UFC, all that, bruh. Michael could have joined. Michael could have gave us a few freaking fights in one championship. To be honest with you, one championship is legit. Michael Jai White could have gave us at least 5 to 6 fights in there, just to show. You know what I'm saying? Just to show us. That would have been a good move for Michael Jai White. But you know, I can't think for everybody. But I'm just saying that for me. Somebody get a contract with Michael. Hey, one championship, give us 6 rounds, boom, on footage. We can see it. Bruh, that would have been so hard. Can't tell you.
Not even sparring clips. And y'all wonder why I'm questioning y'all. Bro, it's right here. Kevin Ferguson, Kimbo Slice. 42 years old. 5 wins, 2 losses.
He's younger than Michael, too.
Bro, he came off the streets and beat Tank Abbott. Knocked out Tank Abbott in Elite XC. Beat Houston Alexander in the UFC. Beat a legend in Ken Shamrock at Bellator. And y'all don't put no respect on his name? He failed? And in his 40s, coming off the streets fighting in MMA?
They got some explaining to do. If he failed, explain how he failed. Real ones ain't have to look this shit up just to know that he's not. But I'm just saying, the ones that saying that Kimbo is a failed professional fighter, you got to explain. You got some explaining to do. For real. Where the fuck did y'all get that? Where did y'all come up with that?
Y'all have lost your mind.
Yeah.
I should expect conversations like this from cornballs who say, get real, bud. Michael will beat your ass. He's a Scorpio just like me.
It should be, as a man, there should be no man on here talking about zodiacs. There should be no man on here talking about zodiacs. Leave that for the women. Next.
I feel the energy and here's legit. You're definitely asking to get your ass whooped. I said, yeah, because all Scorpios are undefeated trained fighters. Get the fuck out of here. For the one saying someone doesn't know their history on Michael Jai White, tell us you know nothing without saying you know nothing. Michael Jai White is the real deal.
We're not saying, well, nobody ain't saying that. Nobody ain't saying that. Nobody ain't saying that. Y'all missing the point. Y'all missing the point. Y'all missing the point. The point is, he's making his claim to be the greatest in the world, period. But he hasn't fought anybody or none of the greats. How can you make that claim then? How can you make that claim then? Bruce never made that claim. In his book, bruh. Stop playing with, man, look, y'all think a nigga just talking. Y'all think of, bro, y'all think a nigga just talking. Y'all think a nigga just talking. Bruce don't make that claim in his book. He don't make that claim in his book, bro. Bruce don't make that claim in his book, bro. All Bruce talk about is elevating your skill as a fighter and don't be one-dimensional for the most part. In the art of Jeet Kune Do and everything that Bruce try to teach us is the main key to his message and his training, the way Bruce Lee training is, never be one-dimensional fighter, bruh. Learn everything. Empty the cup and all that stuff. Flow like water. Come on, man. All that's in there, bro. Where you think all that shit come from? Who you think inspired a lot of these fighters, including Michael Jai White? One of the best that ever came about in his time period. Well, not one freaking fight footage. All movies. But you can't deny Bruce Lee films, bruh. He was the first martial artist to, even if the shit was choreography, just the way Bruce moved, you can tell. Just like Michael Jai White, you can tell just the way he move and swing, the way he trains. You can tell he can squabble, but you don't have no proof just as much as Bruce don't have no proof. So we're supposed to discredit the master who set the standard of fighting. As far as my knowledge, Bruce set the standard. Don't be one-dimensional. Learn all of it. And find yourself. I don't know, man. Michael Jai White is the real deal. For what we see in the movies. For what we've seen in the movies. And that one sparring footage that you can easily look up on YouTube. So I'm going to ask again, is that one footage enough to say that, okay, Michael Jai White could probably fuck some shit up out here in these streets? We know for a fact Kimbo can. We know that.
Rock solid. If you know anything about Michael Jai White, you know. I'll tell you what I do know. I'm a big fan of his movies too, but I also know he's an action movie star and that nobody has ever seen him fight anybody for real, not even spar. I know he says other action movie stars who do the same thing he does aren't real fighters.
Never seen none of these cats. None of them. There's a lot more of them. Seagal, Van Damme, Bruce, like I said, Jackie, Wesley Snipes. You got Kelly. You got a whole bunch of Bolo, Tony Jaa. It's a whole list, bro. Martial artists. I'm talking about martial artists. It was so many, bro. It was so many martial artists making movies back in the 90s, bro. It ain't even funny. It was so many of them. But we can't sit here and try to discredit them. Not as a martial artist anyway. Discrediting other martial artists who ain't failures. All because you feel like they wasn't real fighters. How can you make that claim? You don't live their life? That's like anybody saying that Michael Jai White. How can you make that claim, bro? You might not be a real fighter, nigga. But nobody ain't saying that about Michael Jai White. And we know why we not saying that. Because clearly we know, like, dude, we can tell, we know you know some shit. We seen you do your shit. We just ain't never seen you in a fight. But I don't think nobody ain't go out there and test him either. Nobody's not going to go out there and test him. But if Michael is out here getting called out and he ducking, now we can question some shit. You feel me? Now we can question some shit. And I ain't saying he have to accept every fight he go in, but at the same time, it's like, not one. Not one. Just not one, bro. And it's not even a street fight. Just go in the ring. Anybody can go in the ring and just test it out, bro. Just saying, man. Now, Seagal, we can question. Steven Seagal, we got to question, though. He need to be studied some more. I'm just saying. Because a lot of people hate him. A lot of people hate his fighting style. But there's certain shit that he do that I'm like, okay, that's practical. A lot of this shit is bullshit, but I ain't about to sit here and say that, nah. Some of his stuff is practical, bro. I've seen a couple of movies, I'm like, oh, that was kind of put in slow motion, like, that shit worked. I like the way John Clyde trains. I never really liked a lot of his fight choreographies in his movies. Not saying his movies is bad. It's a lot of wisdom in his movies, for sure. But I like the way John Clyde trained. I like the way Bruce trained, and I like the way John trained. If I could train with anybody, it'd be probably them too, for sure. And I know Scott Adkins kind of got inspired by John Clyde. But I would love to train with any of these cats, bro. As a real fighter or a martial artist or whatever you want to call it, you should be one of, you just want to. In the back of your mind, you can't let your ego not want, bro, get in the way with you. Just meeting them, training with them. You guys aren't fighters. How do you know that? How do you know that if you never fought them? One of my favorite quotes from Sarah from The Matrix. You don't truly know someone until you fight them. I don't know where they got that quote from for that character in The Matrix, but I swear, man, that's something Bruce Lee would have said. That's something Bruce Lee would have said. No, you do not truly know someone until you fight them. Come on, bro. Hey.
I know he has some of the best kicks and technique I have ever seen and has great choreographed fight scenes in his movies. I know he is a very decorated martial artist who has trained with UFC fighters, won many point fighting tournaments, and has...
There it is right there. That's the only footage we can find. Nothing against the footage, but that's the only footage we can find with Michael. And a couple of demos of him doing katas. Or some behind the scenes shit in his movies. Where's the rest of it?
Has several black belts in many different styles of fighting, and he still quit in sparring against Michael Bisping, and he only lasted one round. I know Michael Jai White said in interviews that people know better than to call him out to a fight and that he will never turn down a fight challenge with a pro. But the moment a low-level UFC fighter named Mike Perry disrespected him and called him a bitch and a nigga and challenged him to a fight, he didn't have the heart to take it. He said no. That's what I know. I know his fans say he's legit and not just a movie fighter, but I have no proof that he's legit because he literally only fights in movies. He indeed is a movie fighter. I know that Michael Jai White's diehard fans don't know shit about fighting when they put point fighting and how many belts someone has over what they seen John fucking Jones and Kimbo Slice do in real fights. That's what I know. Do not get it twisted. I am a fan of Michael Jai White's movies. I think he has the best technique I ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he can fight for real.
Right.
I really do. I know all this shit looks really cool. It really does. I get it. But I will never value that.
At the end of the day, it's an art. It's an art. It's an art, what Michael does. It's an art. You see John? That's science. Science! Do you feel me? What Bruce and all them other movie stars, martial arts fighters show on film, that's an art. Kimbo, Mayweather, the ones in the ring doing this shit professionally. Leaving out the ring with scars and blood. A science. Come on, man. Know the difference.
Over this, I will never look at point fighting as more brutal and more real than this. Real fighting.
Never.
And if it was not for my
never. Not saying that it's not important. That's just an easy gateway to go in there and test your art. That's all. That's all that is in that space. But in this octagon, that's the one that's gonna really make you look in the mirror after the fight. That's the one. That's the one that's gonna involve you more than the one over here. Nothing against that. Nothing against the tournaments, the martial arts tournaments, but the octagon, bruh. You put yourself in there, that's really gonna show you who you really are. And what you need to do, what you capable of. Now, I feel like you need both to coexist with each other. Because I love seeing martial artists going into the octagon and showing the fuck off, man. But the octagon is a different monster, bruh. Not that point sparring shit. It's good to watch. It's good to see people test out their art over there. But it's set with a lot of rules that protects them from even going to the hospital. I get it, safety first. Nobody want to end their careers. But you're more likely to end your career over here. One mistake. That's all it takes. One nice technique, one mistake. I'm not saying it can't happen there, but you protect it with gears and all kinds of stuff. Over here, this is going to change your life before that will. That will take you to the Olympics, if anything. You know what I mean?
For Michael Jai White trying to discredit Kimbo and trying to discredit Bruce Lee and watching his fans on this internet act like Kimbo's life was not a real fighter, not a pro fighter, like he failed at MMA, I would not be making this video. Unlike his fans, I am not going to value this over this shit right here. Nobody loves action fight movies like me, bro. But I will never value that over this shit right here. I'm not delusional. I have not been trained in boxing for 30 years and MMA for 10 years to act like how many styles someone has trained and how many black belts somebody has is better than this. Especially when they never competed professionally.
At the end of the day, I mean, I used to buy these magazines a lot when I was young. But at the end of the day, as I get older, I realize, okay, all this is just propaganda. You know, gotta keep your name out there. It's good marketing for your movies. You know what I'm saying? And what you're capable of doing as a martial artist. But overall, it's just propaganda. I don't know if I'm even using propaganda word right for this, whole statement. But still, I'm just saying it's just good marketing. How about that? It's good for marketing. The pictures, the still pictures and all that stuff, that's cool. The katas, that's cool. I mean, I ain't no disrespect to that. I love them. Shit, I used to do them when I was doing martial arts. But it took one martial arts teacher, man, that woke me up to the realization, like, you know what? Yeah, I was keeping myself stuck in a box learning just this fucking style. It took one teacher to get me out of that mindset. I ain't ever went back since. I promise you. No disrespect for the other martial arts. I still would like to learn all these styles and shit. But when it comes to out there in the world, bruh, like your first fight, you weren't a martial artist. In your first fight, think about it. In your first fight, as a kid or whatever age you were, at your first fight, you were doing anything to survive, bro. Now go out there and train and accumulate that in yourself. Learn more. Add that to your arsenal. Yeah, you turning yourself to a weapon at that point, right? But I'm pretty sure when you got into your first fight, bro, you didn't know what the fuck you was doing, but you did everything in your power to survive. You became a savage, didn't you? And even as a martial artist, if you go out there into the world and you get into a fight, 9 times out of 10, the first thing you're gonna do, you probably gonna square up or you gonna grab a motherfucker. You wanna kill him. You probably not even gonna do not one technique. Not one. Not even one. You might try it, but in your brain, it's survival at this matter. The first thing you're gonna do is probably choke somebody out. That's why jiu-jitsu is so big. Because the truth is, everybody that get into a fight, the first thing they want to do is what? Grab. That's the first thing they gonna want to do is grab. Never hate a martial arts style, no matter what style it is. They all useful. But you never know what you're gonna do when you actually in the situation. Never said that Michael Jai White ain't never had no squabbles growing up. I don't think that's what Rock Solid is saying. I'm not even saying that. You can't say that about no man. Y'all don't know the guy. But to discredit other people, especially people that have footage, that have the facts, the evidence showing that, hey, I'm about that. You can't say nothing bad about them. That's it. And in that case, you just wrong, bro. That's just ego. And why you doing that, I don't know. But like I said, ever since Michael Jai White linked up with Vlad TV, in a sense, I mean, Rock Solid kind of showing y'all the light of, the dark side of Michael Jai White. But at the same time, Michael Jai White was exposing himself the moment he said he can beat Bruce Lee. For a minute, I understood where he was coming from after he made a second video explaining it about the size difference. But I done seen little cats beat big guys before. So, even with Bruce Lee's weight and your weight, I look at it like this. Okay, you more likely to grab up Bruce Lee and fold him. That's how I look at it. If you and Bruce Lee was in a real fight, in a scenario right now, in a real fight, you the type of dude would grab him and try to fold him up because he's small. But even still, you don't know what the fuck Bruce would have done to you. And I know for a fact, you're not just going up in there thinking that you could just fold Bruce Lee, bro. Get that out your head. You're not just going into a fight with Bruce and just thinking, I'm just about to fold this little Chinese nigga up. No matter how many movies he made, with no footage of him fighting, you ain't just about to walk in the ring with Bruce and just think I'm about to fold him up. You're not doing that as a man. Because you don't know what the fuck you don't know what the fuck a person is capable of when they life in danger. You don't. You don't. That's why a lot of tough guys out here get their ass beat. People that you expect to win end up losing goddamn fight. I done seen it too much.
How someone has trained and how many black belts somebody has is better than this, especially when they never competed professionally. Who somebody trained with and sparred will never be more respected than this shit right here to me. 2 things before I go. For those who are saying I'm just a bodybuilder, I'm just a rapper and I can't fight, and will get destroyed by Michael Jai White and anybody else that trains in MMA, stick around. I will be posting these 2 videos very soon. Before y'all call me a Michael Jai White hater, I will show y'all a clip from a video I made 5 years ago. If you have any kind of fight IQ, you can beat Mike Perry. And that's why I think it's so crazy that people think that Michael Jai White will lose to Mike Perry. That is insane to me. Have you seen Michael Jai White's hands? Have you seen his feet, his movement?
That's what it is, bro. We know Michael Jai White can fight. But who is Michael Jai White to go around and say that these guys ain't real fighters? That's the question. All right, that was a good video, y'all. All right, follow Rock Solid, bro. He got some legit shit on there. I ain't here gonna burp though. I love following fighters for sure. I don't care if you're a martial artist or just a regular fighter. I love following y'all motherfuckers. I love watching y'all videos and shit too. So, but yeah, man. At the end of the day, if let's just say if these legends were still alive and around in their prime, and this and the third, ain't not one fighter, not even Michael Jai White is walking in the ring just gonna think that he's gonna fold somebody up. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. So, I'll see y'all on the flip side. Y'all be safe and be blessed. Peace.